also people are unaware of when it does come to attacks from the state, and the police officers themselves can be sued on a personal level. Is that true, or is it strictly, are they, as we often hear, you can't necessarily sue the police. They're sovereign from any legal proceedings in their capacity as a police officer. What's your opinion on that?
My opinion on that, I think the police are actually, there are some protections against them. I'm just reading, I just happened across that. I never heard nobody mention that, but while I was reading, I did hear about some protections against members of the militia, so to speak. And the police are basically a militia. There were protections against them from prosecution and stuff. So maybe that's the secret card that they're pulling, to be protected against that prosecution against them. So maybe they do have some kind of protection because for some reason they are being let off the hook for these open murders that you just see just on video. So why are they being left off the hook unless these things are legit? These laws in place to protect them are legit. So maybe they are, but that's when you practice those laws. That's why the only thing is go ahead and alter that system, abolish that system in general, because they're going to continue to be let off the hook. And I think I read that when I read deeper down into a state constitution, those members of militias are granted some pardon and amnesty or whatever you want to call it from being prosecuted. So they can just, it's open season. They can do what they want to do. So we have to, like the Constitution also said, regulate and the government and the police thereof, so, and our human rights. But basically, human rights are found in the Constitution, but human rights supersede our civil local rights. So they violate our human rights, then we have a right to do what we want, what we do, and we have a right to rebel, even if they're not doing right. So that's the only solution, just to take political control yourself, because they're going to do what they do. They're going to write in laws that protect them. And that's expected. So we only have one solution, and that's why what we say is black independence, is independent political control, and we can give ourselves justice from self, I say.
I say, one of the things that we found in our research is that Casual Killing Act was never officially rescinded, and we all know that the police, their original purpose was to catch runaway slaves, and so we're trying to find out too on our end in our research to find out about the Casual Killing Act. If it was because of the Casual Killing Act that they're also empowered to get away with murder.
Oh wow, the Casual Killing Act. What is that act again? Say that again.
That allowed you to. It basically allowed you to correct your slaves, correct your property, and without any consequence, even if you ended up killing them.
Oh, wow.
And so if we link that to the fact that the police department its original purpose was to catch runaway slaves, then we see disproportionately that Africans are being attacked and assaulted and murdered and killed. There's something that we're missing. There's something that we just haven't had an aha moment around, and the more information comes out and the more that we share and the more we have these kinds of conversations, the deeper the rabbit hole gets. Mm-hmm. And I don't know any other way to say it. The matrix is complex. The World Wide Web, if you think about a spider's web, how complicated and complex, and then we look at the World Wide Web, it really is that complicated and complex, but it's not beyond being able to be ciphered out. Mm-hmm. And that's where our challenge lies, even if it's a small cipher. Yeah. Even if it's, just us on Sign of the Times doing what we do, you out, walking the streets, boots on the ground, we are having an impact. It's just that we got to get ready for. I think it's going to be a land swell. I think it's going to be, and I don't know. You probably have a different theory on how it's going to all work out, but I think it's going to be a landswell of knowledge because of the fact that we're getting all this information instantaneously, second by second, millisecond by millisecond, even now at this rate. So I do think we are bearing witness to a shift.
Mm-hmm.
We just got to get ready for it. You know, we just got to really get ready for it and continue to have these kinds of conversations.
Yeah, you know, we tend to make things complex. You know, to me, it's not complex. You know, it's complex. The intellectual, conscious folks of us, we make things complex. But you know what's one of the most complex structures on the earth? It's a spider web. Very, very mathematical, very, very, very complex. But you know I can do like this, and the spider web is gone. After that spider took all that time and did that complex mathematical structure that's so very complex, with one little breath, whew, it's gone. You know, that's the system that we think is so complex. That's our problems that we think are so complex. One little and our problems are over. One little and the system is gone. You see? One little and George Washington, the colonies, their problems were gone with one little. They made it complex by tax issues, petitioning, Boston Tea Partying, this and that, this and that, this and that. They said, hold on, man. I tell you what, all these grievances, and they listed a whole list in the Declaration of grievances they had and problems they had. They said, okay, this can be solved with one blow of the breath. And that blow of the breath was, we declare our independence. We have a right to throw off government and rule ourselves. So we make it complex by not just taking one breath. We want to do this. We want to, instead of taking one little breath, we want to try to breathe out of our ears. We want to try to breathe out of places we're not supposed to be breathing out of. Just take that breath, that one little simple step, and it's all over with. It's nothing complex. They say, oh, how you want to get to the ground from the top of the roof? Jump. You know, jump. You know, but we afraid to jump. Jay-Z's not really a favorite artist of mine, even though I enjoy him, I appreciate him now because of the new style rappers. But he said one thing. He said, people said, Hov, how you get so fly? He said, I said, by not being afraid to fall out the sky. You see, we're afraid to take real stances. So we will never get free. It sounds radical like what we're doing here in Detroit, very radical. But it's a law. We're allowed to do that. Let's just do it and get it over with. Do you think I would put a police department in place? You think this brother behind me would kill Aiyana Jones? Do you think this brother behind me, will you, Sister Queen Tahiyrah, will you lock up people unjustly? Will you murder that little boy Tamir Rice down in Ohio? Would you do that? Would you hang Sandra Bland? Would you kill Freddie Gray? Would you do all these things yourself? No, you wouldn't do it, but this system would do it. So let's throw off the system and you govern yourself because you wouldn't do that. Let's just take that little simple breath and get rid of the spider web. Don't just look at the spider web and say, oh, I might get caught up in the spider web. Oh, it's so complex. Look at the mathematical precision of it. Look at this. It's going to be so complex to get rid of it. There's somebody come behind and say, fool, get out my way and blow it down. So me and these brothers here, we're going to be like that. Fools, get out the way. Ain't nothing complex. We make it complex. How is it complex when all you got to say, I don't consent and stand up like men? The British ruled the world. They said the sun never sets on the British Empire. So who are these little settlers in a new territory called the colonies of America? Who are they to go against the British? But people made it complex. There were people arguing with George Washington and Thomas Jefferson. No, let's go about it this way. They were taking boat rides all the way over to England to petition the king or queen, whatever, of England, the royalty of England. They were taking ship rides that take weeks at a time just to go over there back and forth, petitioning, talking to them, this, that. They said, man, the heck with that, man. We have a right to govern ourselves. We're wasting time doing this. We're wasting time what we're doing. Let's stand up one time and get it over with. Why keep wasting time? You going to wait for your son to die, your daughter to die, you to die, or get killed by one of these? We're going to pass poverty on. We're going to pass oppression on to our generation. Or we going to get free or die trying. We got to make a bold stand. This thing is not complex. We make it complex. It's that innate fear that's been put in us to make things complex. I was over in Zimbabwe and other countries that actually fought for their liberation. The same things with them. They had certain leaders that made things complex. Then those youth came up, young guys of that day, and said, hold on now, this thing not complex. Let's just tell them, look, we demand our independence or we'll go to war. Either, simply put, how are you going to work your way out of that spider web? The spider web will never get blown down if you try to work your way through it delicately. You're going to end up being bait and being food for that spider. Blow it down, or you will be food for that spider. We saying blow this system down, and you will be food for this system. We are food for this system. We're being ate every day. How many people are being unjustly incarcerated as we speak? How many people are being shot down by police as we speak? How many people are lingering in prison, falsely charged as we speak? Nah, man, blow it down. And let's take over this thing. We have a right to do so. Yeah, it's radical. It's the simplest thing to do all over the world. Everywhere in the world, when people are oppressed, they say the only way to fight oppression and get justice is to just govern yourself and give yourself justice. We a bunch of mice trying to make a complex situation with a government of snakes that will never give us justice. They will only swallow us day in, day out. So nah, let's not make this thing complex, because it's not complex. It's simple. It's so simple. That's why they put it in the first article of your Constitution. That's why it's the number one chief human right. The number one human right is self-determination, the right to govern yourself. Because the people do not have to take abuse. So we try to make an abusive situation. How is it complex? When it says simply, just say, I don't consent to you. And rise up in the masses of numbers and say that, and just say, look, that's your justice or else. My justice is the justice I'm going to give myself. Or else, if I don't do that, the else is I'm going to keep being victimized. And if you don't allow me to give myself justice, then the else for you is death and war. I know y'all cowards out there. I don't want to go to war with the American government. I mean, I'll throw rocks at this government before I be a coward and sit down like you sitting down. I'll throw a rock at a daggone drone. I'll throw a rock at a aircraft carrier before I sit down and be a coward. Stand up. Who knows what he would do? He give us the right to do so. So just stand up upon it. Not stop making fearful excuses. Not just excuses. You making situations. You be drawing up situations. Oh, if we do this, they're going to bomb us like they did the move people in Philadelphia. They're going to do this like they did Black Wall Street. This, that. Yeah. Man, shut up and stand up, man. You know, so now, to me, the situation is not complex. It's very simple. But the complex thing is getting past your fear. Now, that's complex, because now you got to get to the root of situations or problems. Now, to get to that fear and get past that fear and get to a situation of fearlessness, a state of mind and state of heart of fearlessness, now that's complex. The move to get liberated, it's never been complex. All over the world, it's the easiest thing to do. It's not complex. So let's do what's the easiest thing. It requires some, I like the way Minister Farrakhan put it. He said it requires some testicular fortitude. But I think I can say on this show, it requires some nuts, man. Grow yourself some nuts, man. And let's stand up and do something that's right. Something that's bold, something that never has been done. We done tried all the delicate, all the, what you call the complex things. We tried those complex things. It hasn't worked. You know, they tried complex things to deal with the situation with handling paper. Till some guy came by and made the simplest invention, yet the biggest invention in 100 years, called a paperclip. You mean all these thousands of years of dealing with paper, and we can't come up with a simple paperclip? So now we're dealing with all these things of all these situations of oppression, we can't do the simple thing that's already been invented, that's already your God-given right. Let's say, look, man, we want to govern ourselves from here. So that uncomplex thing that we're doing here, that's the only solution, and that's what we're going for. Yeah, y'all, I support y'all going for, I don't support you. I watch you run for office. I watch you do this and watch you do that. But I know it's futile. I know you spitting in the wind. You spitting in the wind. It's going to end up on your legs or on your face, your own face. And so let's do something that's real. I know I'm crazy. I'm a radical. We all crazy sitting in here talking about governing ourselves. We all crazy talking about let's abolish and alter the government and establish our own. Yeah, we fools for thinking like that. We're fools for thinking we can govern ourselves. We're fools for standing up. Okay, call us fools. You know? Everybody of the past, Castro was called a fool. Mugabe was called a fool. Patrice Lumumba was called a fool. Everybody who stood there, George Washington was called a fool for standing up against the British. But now he built the most powerful nation in the world because he stood up against the most powerful empire in history at that time. So here we go. And they did something that was so simple, but yet others amongst him, scholarly, the class amongst him, made it complex. George Washington, by the way, was called General George Washington because he was a man's man. Even though he was a slave owner and I hate his guts, he was a man's man for his people. We got to be men's men for our people, or sometimes got to be a woman in the form of a man in the form of a woman, since the manhood has been destroyed. And I'm not saying there's no men out there, but just the numbers are not there. But those who claim they are men, let's stand up and do something that's legit. Let's do something that's powerful. Let's do something that's bold. Let's do something that's changed the lives all over the world for various people. Nothing that's ever changed for anybody any of the places I've been to by doing this little Negro activism that we do over here. Only thing that changed their situation in life was what we're doing, and that's independence. Now, I hate to step on people's toes, but I don't care. I put on some daggone steel-toe boots or some spiked cleats and step on your toes all day long, because what you're doing is wasting our time. You're getting our babies killed. You're getting our women killed by doing nothing. So, yeah, I'll debate you all day long. What is not complex and what we've been doing is wrong. I don't care how good you think your leader is. Have your leader got you free? Don't brag on how long your leader been doing stuff. Has he gotten you free? Or is he free himself and living well, or herself and they living well while you still struggling? I didn't join no organization just to be behind some leader and to say, look, we're a glorified, nice-looking organization. I joined an organization to get free. And if I don't get free, then I'm through with the organization. So we joined an organization, we ain't even got free yet. We thought, man, I've been in this organization for 30 years, and you ain't got free yet? What are you doing?
That's right.
That's like me sitting at a table eating a whole bunch of food and not getting full. The heck I'm doing at that table eating that food for? Get at a table, eat something that's going to fill your belly. So I'm going to do something that's going to get me free. I don't have 30 years. I refuse to grow old sitting here talking about I've been in this organization. I've been in the struggle for all these years. Now I got gray hairs. I'm leaning over, becoming a hunchback. Got wrinkles all everywhere. So I've been in the struggle for all this time, and I'm still not free. Still struggling as an old man. Nah, man, let's get free right now. Like I said, this in Africa now. I don't have no patience. I have perseverance, but I don't have patience for that. Because I'm not going to pass poverty along to my children or to the. And when I say my children, I don't even have but one daughter, but I say all the children are mine. I'm not going to pass poverty on to them. I'm not going to pass oppression on to them when I know we can change that situation. It just requires something that we've never done over here. And like I said on Black Power Radio, I've been to the mountaintop. I've seen the promised land. So that's why I'm talking like this. Meaning when I say I've been to the mountaintop and seen the promised land, meaning that I've been in places where blacks were governing themselves, where they once were governed by white people, but they overthrew those white people by human right. Their right to govern themselves, their right to independence. They overthrew that system, and now they're governing themselves. So I've seen that promised land. I've seen that mountaintop. So why would I come always from seeing that and experience and even participating with them in those governing policies, come back over here to some Negro stuff? come over here to protest, come over here to fight for this right and that right. No, I'm coming over here to go for the gusto. Oh yeah, there's nothing left. After I done seen that, that's like you seeing something great, then come for something less. Nah, man. I've seen Michael Jordan and LeBron James play. Why would I want to go back in the days and wonder over some Pistol Pete or somebody? You know what I mean? When I've seen these greats do what they do, so I know it can be achieved. I see somebody they jumped from maybe 5 foot in front of the goal and dunked back in the days. Then a man named Michael Jordan came and flew from the free throw line. So now I know that can be done. So now I'm not going to settle from jumping 5 feet out dunking. I'm going to settle for, I've seen people govern themselves, so now I'm going to settle for governing ourselves and giving ourselves justice. Because that is the only way we're going to get justice. I don't care, I argue all day long, bring whoever. That's the only way we're going to receive justice is give it to ourselves. Ayanna Jones, Matilda, her grandmother Matilda, Daisha Miller's mother, Yolanda, Terrence, Kellen's father, Kevin, they are friends of mine here in Detroit. But I cry when I see them out being abused and used by leaders to attend their marches, to attend their little speeches against police brutality, when I know that those people will never receive justice under that current action that they're taking. Never, ever, ever, ever receive justice by going to the White House and begging Trump to stop police brutality. Matter of fact, this man a few months ago advocated for police brutality. He said it's okay for y'all to rough them up a little bit. He said that openly. And we expect him to help us out with police brutality? Come on, man.
And then out of jail.
We're not thinking clearly, people. We're not thinking. See, one thing about fear affects your brain also. It affects your mental, your cognitive process, and it affects your rationale. So when we have fear in us, we can't rationalize our way out of this. So when we get rid of that fear, then we can really think clearly like, hey, hold on for a second. That ain't going to work right there. That right there ain't going to work. That ain't going to work. First of all, I should know it ain't going to work because we've been doing it for 100 years and it hasn't worked. Come on, man. You know, I go to the gym and work out. I've been doing it for years. When I try one routine, a new routine, and it don't give me strength, or muscle gain, I abandon that routine. Why would I keep doing the same routine over and over again? I haven't gained not 1 ounce of strength, not 1 ounce of muscle, or 10 pounds of strength. Why? So black people, what are you doing? Political action in their system has never gotten you anywhere. Marching, speaking has never gotten you anywhere. Petitioning has never gotten you anywhere. Come on, man. Let's not condemn ourselves and the next generation to continued suffering, even if we have to go while we're trying to rectify the situation. Let's do something. I beg you, listening audiences, please, after this radio show, sit down and meditate with all your quietness, power to be still and quiet, meditate and think about this situation. If you have a right, if your own, not human, first of all, Declaration of Human Rights, but your own state constitution says you're not happy, if you don't feel safe, it says power is to the people. You have a right to abolish that system. So amass yourself and do so. Do that. Power is to the people. That's not a slogan. Why are we saying power to the people as slogans, but we're not demonstrating that power to the people? We don't really believe that. That's just something nice to say when we go out to a rally. But no, I'm not here to be saying something nice at a rally. I'm here to implement something and enjoy benefits of freedom. Because like I said, I've been to the mountaintop. I've seen the promised land. So we got to get to the promised land ourselves. We are the strongest nation of black people in the world, potential nation. Yet we are just used and abused, a bunch of victimized slaves to this day. So either or. Either we continue that and continue to be victims, or, as I said, black independence, the only solution. We fight, and we have a right to do that. Do something radical for once. Do something radical, which you call radical. But radical, if you look up radical, it means it's legit. Something that's legit. Something that's all the way. Why go halfway? Halfway is halfway. Is there anything that's being halfway free? I don't think there's nothing that's being halfway free. I'm halfway happy. You halfway happy? I'm halfway safe. Either you happy, you safe, or you free. Not halfway free. Not halfway free, but radical means all the way. Extremeness, radical, extreme, all the way, to the extreme. So yeah, I'm an extremist. I want to be to the extreme. I want to be free, because there's no such thing as being halfway free. You can only be extremely free. There's no such thing as being halfway happy. You can only be extremely happy. There's no such thing as being halfway at peace. You can only be extremely at peace. Because peace itself also means completion. So you can't, there's no halfway in peace. So come on, man. Let's be rational, audience. Put that Big Mac that you're eating down right now, because that's going to help you be confused. Don't eat that for one day and let's think, family. Put that Coca-Cola, Mountain Dew, Sprite, put that up for the day. Cleanse your system out. Let's fast for a day and pray. I'm serious. It's not no joke. Let's fast and pray for a day, and let's think clearly, and let's come to some kind of conclusion. And I know what the conclusion you will come to. You will see what I'm saying is rational. It's the most rational thing. So you're saying George Washington is more rational than you all listening? George Washington is braver than you? I know George Washington is not more rational than me. Matter of fact, in the Nation of Islam, I was taught that we have 7.5 ounces of brain cells, and he only has 6. So I know he can't be more rational than me. And he's definitely not stronger and braver than me. He was a coward that controlled 300 and something slaves through their ignorance that he put in them and their fear that he put in them. So, let's do what's rational. Let's do what created the most powerful nation in the world that was made powerful by us. If we made the most powerful nation, what can we do for ourselves? Come on. I mean, it's just simple to me. I know it might be hard for everybody. It's just simple to me. You know, I try to explain to my father that it's simple, Dad, how you got high blood pressure, eating that red meat and that pork and stuff, that cholesterol that clogs your arteries stuff. It's simple, Dad. I don't know how you don't see it, but if you don't see it, I can't say nothing else to you. It's simple. So just like that situation, it's simple how you clogged your heart. It's simple how we got in this condition. And it's simple how we're going to solve that problem. Simple. Nothing complex.
I want to let the listeners know we're getting ready to wrap up here in a few minutes. If you have a question or a comment, feel free to push 1. If you're listening on your computer, you can dial in at 917-889-8059, 917-889-8059, and don't forget to push the number 1. So, Brother Ramsel, we've got a month to prepare and promote and recruit people to be a part of the event in Detroit. What can they expect on that day? And say if people can't make it to Detroit, what are you recommending they do?
I'm sorry for not getting to that question. I went on the tangent, I guess. You asked how you all can support and help with the situation. Well, on that day, you can expect the masses of people in Detroit to turn up to vote for their independence and to start implementing things that will benefit them. How the listening audience can help, if you can't make it here, then you can help by alerting the mass of people, even where you are, to what's going on. So look, this is what's happening there, so they can be paying attention, because it will be on the news. Like last time, all that CBS was there, Fox, CBS, and ABC, all of those would be there. It would be national, even international, what's going on here. And we will be streaming it ourselves. We don't trust the media, because the fed them scripts last time for them to try to demean and defame the process. But so it's about making people alert of what's going on. If you do know people in Detroit, tell them to participate. Because if you're not with us, you're against us. If you don't participate in democratic action, that means you're part of the numbers that count against our numbers. So you got to be part of the number that's for, or either you're part of the number that's against. There's no in between when you're dealing with standing up democratically. So that's how people can help, just by participating. If you make it here, that's great. You know, to add to the numbers, to the strength. But also, it's coming to a neighborhood near you. That's what I like to say. We like they say, coming to a theater near you. So this action is coming to your city. It's coming. It's going to sweep across America. That's what makes them so afraid of what we're doing here in Detroit, because this is the motor city, and it will get an engine of independence started across this country. And so just be prepared as well to do it in your city. So rise up in your city and implement the same. We got hundreds and hundreds of black mayors, and we got even more than that of black majority towns and cities across America. We can easily just stand up and say, look, we're going to govern ourselves. Simple. So once you see us do it, we're going to be the engine. We are the motor city. We're going to be the engine to get this independence train going. So you can help by just spreading the word. Hopefully you can be here to take part, but if not, spread the word. Let anybody you know in Detroit know, but definitely spread the word even around you of what's going on. Pay attention so we can make this thing bigger than life and let the public see freedom.
And how do people keep abreast as to what's happening and, let you know if they want to come or participate?
We have the Black Independence Day page on Facebook. We've been posting to. We haven't been posting in a while. We've been too busy in the streets to even post to the page. We in the streets every day. We're doing something. This is our life here is at stake. Freedom is at stake. And so, but on that page you can find out on the Facebook page. But go to my Facebook, Ramzu Yunus, and you'll see the link to Black Independence Day page. But I'll be posting things also on my page, Ramzu Yunus, R-A-M-Z-U, last name Y-U-N-U-S. And so you can stay abreast of what's going on. And that's basically how you can find out. We're gonna be shooting videos and making posts and showing the people what's happening. And on that day, we will be streaming live on Facebook, and we will have our own live stream channel to shoot the event, to stream the event. Yes.
Good, cool. Well, if you all need any help, media-wise or whatever, I'm here. So I'm on board. I want you all to come to my city too, even if it's before the event in July. Then I think it would help me galvanize some more brothers to the table to see strong black men who are not afraid of the system necessarily. So if you all can make it here, I definitely would appreciate the support. And we're organizing the black property owners here, and it would do them good to know that there are other places who are going through what we're going through and who aren't afraid to speak truth to power. So I want to thank you for all the energy that you put out on a day-to-day basis, you and the brothers who are part of your crew, because we need you. We need you out here as an African woman. We need our strong men out here, and we need to develop more strong men. And right now, I see more infiltration from the Catholic Church and this homosexual agenda than I do real strong black independence in the community. So I'm looking forward to what the future holds, and I'm looking forward to continuing to work with you around it. So thank you for everything that you do, Brother Ramzu.
Thank you likewise. Thank you for being strong like you are, and being boots on the ground and actually putting forth effort. I know that it's really not your role. I hate to be chauvinistic or anything, but the woman's role is to cultivate the nation, not fight to defend a nation. But I'm sorry you have to take that position to be a fearless warrior like you are. Hopefully the men will stand up, and we will help to motivate the men there. We will be there, We travel, don't we? Corey, no, we've been out. So, we will travel, and whatever's necessary. I hope to be kind of too busy here in Detroit to be traveling, but we will do what's necessary, because even after independence here, I'm not doing this so I can be in some kind of position. I want to hand this over to a council of worthy, capable people here in Detroit, so we can do this elsewhere, so we can be in places like Cincinnati and elsewhere organizing our people. So definitely we are there for you, and we will be in Cincinnati. That's a guarantee. And but thanks for doing what you do, but continue doing what you do. Continue to might have to be a little man a little bit, but continue that until you're relieved and a man is put in his proper post. So great job. Thanks for having us on. We definitely will need your assistance with the media and trying to put this out there and spreading the message We need different outlets, and we need alternative media because the other media is definitely controlled in their message. We've experienced that, how they are controlled, how they purposely put out fake news. I thank Trump for that saying, or popularizing that saying, fake news they're putting out against our rise. So thank you for being an alternative, powerful, truth-speaking media outlet for us. May the Most High within strengthen you and bless you, which you will be blessed for all the work you put in and the energy you're putting out for the rise of our people.
I say likewise, brother. We'll have you back on a few times before the event in Detroit, and I'm going to encourage people to be a part of the Black Independence page, and so let's continue to build, let's continue to network and talk on and off the air, because it starts with a conversation, and
yes, ma'am.
We've got a lot of conversations to have. So
yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Brother Ramsey. Thank you to all your partners and comrades, and I thank you to all the listeners for being a part of tonight's dialogue, even if you just chose to listen. We'll see everyone tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My co-host, Dr. James Jones, will be on with me every Wednesday night. So we'll see everybody live tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central, and 3 p.m. Pacific. In the meantime, if you need me, give me a call. Area code 513-913-2691. I also take texts, and you can reach me on Instagram, Queen_Tahiyrah, on Twitter @Queen Tahiyrah, and of course on Facebook, Sign of the Times, Youth Power Radio Network, the National Freedom and Justice Movement, the UAC, and quite a few other pages. Google me, and you'll find me. In the meantime, between time, we're going to close out with Joe Scott Heron. We'll see everybody tomorrow night at 6.
Peace, Black Power. Peace. All power to the people. That's a wrap, family. We out. Hope you understood and can feel what we were saying. And until next time, we'll see you. Salute.